Hello, hello, good evening. It's Monica from Life is Art, and it's Wednesday. Let's create. We are going to be making a double page layout using the October collection. This is our featured collection for the entire month of October. Yay, it's October the 1st. Boy, oh boy, time sure flies, doesn't it? And so our collection this month is called Home for Christmas, and it's a gorgeous, very traditionally colored Christmas collection, and the gorgeous papers. So today we are sticking with just the paper pack and sticker sheet for our layout, and so we're going to be looking at that. And we're going to be using some White Daisy cardstock for our base. So I've got 2 sheets of White Daisy here. Yes, yes, yes. We are making a double page layout. Hey Carol, nice to see you're watching. If you're joining me live, just say hello or howdy so I know you're here. And if you're watching later on replay, you can just say replay. Hey Joanne, I see you're watching too. Okay, so I've got 2 12 by 12 White Daisy papers here, and I'm going to go ahead first and just stick them down to my Versamat. Just add a little bit of adhesive in the center. This is a great thing to do if you're scrapbooking and you're going to be using your Versamat for measuring and lining things up, because then your base page doesn't shift around on you while you're working on it. So let's go ahead and do that. The backing off and stick it down. Looking good. Okay, so we've got our base pages. Hey Pamela, nice to see you're watching. Good evening. So we're going to be using our Home for Christmas collection, and one of my, well, I've got a couple favorite papers in this collection. One of them is the gorgeous, gorgeous poinsettia paper, and I've already fussy cut some of this. Because it's super pretty, but gorgeous poinsettias in scarlet, candy apple, and pine, and I believe sage is the other color that's in there. So I've got a piece that is 2.5 by 11.5 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and stick that down to my page, and we're going to stick it on. Let me see, about 1/2 inch from the bottom. We're going to go with 1/2 inch, just like that. And we're centering it. So, actually, no, we're not. Now that I've stuck it down there, that's not what we're doing. We're not centering it. I'm supposed to be going over towards the right. So now we just do the very slow peel to see if we can lift it without making too much of a mess. Yeah, you know, you should always pay attention to what you're doing, right? If we make too big of a mess, we're just going to turn it over. Yep. That's how it goes some days. All right, we're going to trim off the little bits of the cardstock we've taken off. And what we're going to do is we're just going to turn over our cardstock and try this again. Just like that. Okay. Cardstock. Flip it over. Rub and remove eraser. We're starting off with a bang tonight. Look at that. We're going to use our rub and remove eraser to take our adhesive off the other side. One of the great things about White Daisy, as opposed to the other cardstocks, is it's identical on both sides. And so you can just go ahead and flip it around. Look at that. Problem solved. Anybody else do that? First piece on the page and shoo, wrong place. Wrong place at the wrong time. There we go. Okay, let's add some fresh adhesive on here. Just like it never happened. You guys aren't going to mention it, right? What happens on live video stays on live video and gets uploaded to YouTube later. So, yeah, no. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay. let's try this again. And this time, we're going to take our piece of paper and we're going to line it up with the right-hand side of our page. There we go. All good and sticky again. Okay, right-hand side of the page, 1/2 inch up from the bottom. Oh my goodness. We're going to try and line it up straight as well. Now that it's sticky, it's really sticky. Okay. Much better. Look at that. First try. I'm just laughing at myself. What are you going to do? Okay, so now I've got a second piece that's identical in size. So again, this was 2.5 by 11.5, but this one I'm going to dovetail on the one end. So I'm going to make a little snip and then come from the corner to the top of my snip. This is why we had to line that piece up with the right-hand side of the page, because we want to make this sort of look like our, throwing all my cutoffs up there. We want it to make it look like this piece of paper continues from left side to right side. You know what I think is throwing me off is the fact that I usually don't make double page layouts on camera. Okay, so 1/2 inch up, and we'll try to put it straight across the page. There we go, with a nice little dovetail on the one end. Carol says she's a repeat offender. Yeah, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. All right. Next up, we have photos. And weirdly enough, I'm going to be putting photos on pretty close to the beginning of this layout. It's actually not a difficult layout. I'm using kind of a simple pattern. When I post the photos, I will write down where I got it from, but it is from Pinterest. It was like a layout template. So I have some photos of my Christmas tree. This was taken the first Christmas we were here, and I know that because we hadn't yet put the mirror over our mantle. So there's a blank spot where there is now a mirror. So this is our Christmas tree, and with all the lights on in the evening. And then on the mantle, we have our 3 little angels that hold the kids' stockings. And anybody else have these? You know, the macaroni and pasta wreath on a paper plate that the kids made in kindergarten, and then spray painted gold. Yeah, we have 2 of those, one for Joshua, one for Justin. So this one is Joshua's, I know, because we always hang their named ornaments in the inside. So you can always tell whose is whose. And lovely. Okay. Now, before I stick them down, though, I want to bring in a second piece of paper. And this is my other favorite paper from this collection. It is the gorgeous dark wood grain, and it's wide plank boards. The backside is the pretty plaid, but who doesn't love a gorgeous wood grain, deep and dark? Okay, so we're going to be adding this on here, and I just want to get a feel for where this is going to go. And then we're going to shuffle our photos around a little bit so that we line ourselves up. Yeah. Right about like that. Okay, we might as well stick this down. So this piece of wood grain is 2 inches by 11 inches. Now, you could be doing anything with these papers. You could be edge distressing, adding some inking on the edge, all sorts of fun things. Do I want to come down a whole inch, or do I want to do 3/4 of an inch? I think we're going to do 3/4 of an inch down and 1/2 inch in on either side. And of course, from the angle I'm lining this up at, I can't really tell if I'm straight, but fingers crossed. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and add our first photo here. These are all 4x6 photos on this particular layout, and we are going to have 6 photos. And we're going to line this one up with just a little tiny gap between the wood grain and the photo. And then this one is going to be able to go directly below it. So we've got 2 horizontal, so 6x4s, I guess. And then we have a vertical 4x6, like that. And this one was the good one to pick for the vertical because it's got the big tree in it. So it was definitely easy to crop for that. All right, let's see. Right about halfway in between those 2 photos is where I want to go with that one. Alrighty, now let's jump over to our other side over here. And I've got 3 more photos. Hey Heather, nice to see you're watching, and Amy's here too. Finally a Sunday, you're off early enough to watch. Awesome. So I've got some photos of the little Christmas village, you know, those little light up villages, and put it on my dry sink. So there's a shelf above and then the part below. And pro tip here, so underneath this one below, because it's a dry sink, this part of the furniture is actually sunken down in because that's where you put your big basin and your water jug, you know, it's a dry sink from back in the day. And so if I put my little village in there, it would be down inside and you wouldn't actually be able to see it. So what I do is I take a shallow Rubbermaid bin. Anything else that's normally stored on this unit goes in the bin, put the lid on it, then put the fake snow on, right? And then light up your village. And then when Christmas is over, you take everything out of the bin and put the Christmas village in it. So it's the holder for the village and it's also a riser for the village. So works out well. And then also we've got the little nativity scene here. So this page is all about sort of the getting the house ready for the festive season. Okay, so let's add these, and we've got 3 4x6s. We're going to come 1/2 inch in from the side, and we're going to stick these down. And you know what? I'm going to stick the bottom one and the top one and then the middle one, and we'll see how it all shakes out. Hopefully it'll fit just tickety-boo, and if there's a little bit of a gap, that's okay too, because then we can just make it even. So my 4x6s are actually more like 4x5 3/4 or 7/8, just because of the way my printer is. I have a Canon Selfie, and so the Canon Selfie sometimes, oh, look at that. Did anybody else notice that? I'm supposed to come 1/2 inch in. I tell you, there are days, and then there are days. We're going to have to peel this one too. Now I've got this one stuck to me. I'm going to lift this one. I do have a tool for this process. Where is it? There it is. A little paper crafting tool. It helps with this sort of endeavor. Just slide it under there. Oh, peel, peel, peel. Peel, peel, peel. It's a good thing we have tools like that. Okay, let's put some new adhesive on there. Have you ever made a layout where you had to stick things down like several times? I know I have, and tonight is no exception. I have had to do it before, even making a card. You know, you put something down, you lift it, you put something down, you lift it, and you're like, oh my goodness, can you just go in the right place? Alrighty, so we're going 1/2 inch in. We got to keep reminding ourselves of that. Hopefully I've got my photo the right way up. A little bit crooked. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, see, there we go. There's a little gap, but I can make it even between all 3 photos by doing that middle photo at the end. So that's my little tip, besides trying to stick things in the right place the first time. Okay, then we've got another piece of the gorgeous wood grain, and this has been cut to 2 inches by 10 inches, so a little bit shorter than this one. This one was 11 inches. This one is 10. So Sorry, that one was 11. This one was 10. So 2 inches by 10 inches. And what we're going to do is we're going to run it vertically. And we're going to come down. Let me get my ruler for this. We're going to come down to 3/4 of an inch like we did on the other layout. Just line that up like that. And we'll stick it down. And yes, we are going to leave a little bit of gap, a little bit of white space in between to stick that down. Now, I had different thoughts going through my brain when I was cutting the wood grain paper. And so this one I had the wood grain running vertically. This one I have it running horizontally. I had thought about having them both going vertically, but I just decided to conserve paper. Sometimes you have to just make a choice. And in this case, I decided to conserve the paper. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of embellishing on here. And I've got 3 pieces of the pattern paper that have been cut. So we've got that back side of the wood grain, which is this gorgeous plaid. And this piece is 1 3/4 by 3.5. And then we've got 2 pieces that are 1.5 by 2.5. And this is that lovely script on black pattern paper, which is gorgeous. And we're going to dovetail all of these. So I'm just going to snip them in the center and then come in from the side to the top of the snip. And then from this side to the top of the snip. Now, because these 2 are identical, it makes sense to cut them the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay the one I've already cut right on top. And then I can just make my snip. And then come in from the corner to the top of the snip. And the same for this side. There we go. And then this one, we can just do it on our own because it's a different size, so it's not going to line up anyway. There we go. I do find that the shallower you make a dovetail, the better. So let me see. My dovetail is 1/4 of an inch. And I find if you go too long with a dovetail, or too deep with the dovetail, it starts looking weird. So I've got some adhesive on the back here. And what I want to do is I want to have this kind of overlap onto this last photo here, or the top photo. And just overlap there. And we're not going up to the top of the wood grain. We're leaving a bit of a gap. Now, I had considered using foam tape for these, but I decided to keep everything flat today. Why not? And then we're just going to leave a little gap in between and stick this one like that, and will overlap on this vertical photo. And then our last one, try to maintain that same gap. And there we go, a nice little trio of dovetails. Now, we're going to, just like we've carried this paper from side to side, we've carried this paper from side to side, although turning one. We're going to carry these dovetailed flags over to this side using the pattern papers, and but we're going to switch. So this time we're going to have our dovetails coming out to the side, just like this larger piece here. So you can see here I've got this script paper again, but this time I have the words going the length instead of across. Well, they're going horizontal. Same as they were on that one, but had to cut it a different way to get that. So there we go. Just trimming, snip in the center and trim to the sides. So this little one is 1 inch by 2.5 inches. And I'm just going to lightly tuck it under the edge of that wood grain. Just like that, and leave a little gap. So now it's kind of joining in with the dovetail that's happening on that larger piece. And then next, I have a piece of the plaid, and this is 1 3/4 by 2 5/8. And we're going to dovetail it as well. Give it a little snip in the center. And then come in from the side. Most of these are different sizes. So I'm not lining them up to do the dovetails. I'm just going at it. Just giving it a go. Is this your Christmas display, Monica? It sure is. Not for this year, but this was several years ago. It was the first year we were in this particular house. I know that because there was no mirror over my fireplace the first year we lived here. Went up shortly after Christmas, but wasn't up there for Christmas. There we go. My next one is this beautiful pine geometric pattern that's got lots of sort of inky goodness and distressing look to it. And this is 1 1/8 by 2.5. So we're getting all sorts of different sizes, which adds a nice little bit of variety to the layout. No, see, Heather, in our house, we put up the decorations partway into December, and then we leave them up till March break. So we like our decorations to last a long time, but we start later and leave them longer, if that makes sense. Yeah, they're generally up until March break. Now, I want to add in a sticker from the sticker sheet. And so if you look on here, you will see that there are some things that could be used as banners along here. And the one that I'm going to use is this one here, the one that's in scarlet that says Noel. And it's got the beautiful wood grain on there as well. So that one, which is about 1 inch wide, is going to just tuck under here like that. And just kind of blend in with the pattern papers. I sort of got it straight. Maybe I should fix that. It's not just the pattern paper that I'm having difficulty with. It's also the stickers. But thankfully, our stickers are a beautiful cardstock weight. And they actually do come up very nicely. And allow you to adjust them. There we go. So back to pattern paper. So we're going for this same script paper. And this one is 1.5 inches by 2 inches. And we'll just snip it in the center. And then come in from the corners. You're getting to see lots of practice with these dovetails. But it's nice to keep repeating something across a layout so that there's some consistency. Just realized that my sticker sheet is sticking in the way there. All right. And we'll just tuck that under there. Like that. And then one more. We're going back to the same green pattern paper. And this one is 1 inch by 2 inches. Give it a little snip. And then in from the corners. Now you may have noticed as I was taking the adhesive off the back of these that I do not put a lot of adhesive on my banners. I'm just putting a little strip. The one end is tucked under the other paper, so that holds it in place. But I really don't mind if there's a little bit of lift on my banners because it gives a little bit of texture to the paper. And so I think that's quite all right. So there we go, our last little banner there. And now we need a title for our layout. And I thought because this was the sort of decorating themed layout for our house, I was thinking this home for the holidays because it's all about our home. So let's go ahead and peel that off and we can stick that right in this space. Look, it looks like it was just made for it. And again, I could add some foam tape to this, but I'm going to keep everything flat. So tonight we're using just the paper pack and sticker sheet, and we're keeping it flat. So for those of you who like scrapping flat, this is a good one. Okay, and then I also want to add a few little bits and bobs. So we've got this cute little wood grain heart, and this little bow in a circle here. And I thought these would be kind of cute down here. We'll just kind of layer those up together. A nice little spot there. And then let's take this other heart and we'll stick it up here, maybe right on the edge between those two. And then this little circle, which has a little ornament in it, we'll add it there. And I was thinking of the poinsettia, but I think the poinsettia will blend in a little too much. So maybe one of these larger ones. How about this wreath? Because a wreath is kind of a decoraty thing as well. So I think we'll stick the wreath there like that. And then I want to just take a look at the words on here. So we've got all wrapped up, which might be cute here with, because there's presents under the tree. We must have taken it right on Christmas Eve. We've got believe, rejoice, giving gifts, 'tis the season, holly jolly, winter wonderland. The winter wonderland might be cute with the little village here. So just thinking about these. I think I'm going to use this all wrapped up, but I don't want it to look like a tag because I don't have anything for it to tag onto, if that makes sense. So we're just going to remove the little taggy part, and we're going to tuck this, thank goodness for these stickers that lift. We're going to tuck it under the edge here. So let's stick it right there like that, and then add our little bow. We put a bow on it. It's all wrapped up and we put a bow on it. And then, let me see. Bum, bum, bum. I think I want the Winter Wonderland. But I don't know if I want it to be an arrow. Maybe I do. Thinking there. Because there's this weird space. Or I could do it over here with those, but I think over here, just for a little something different. Just stick that right on there like that. Winter Wonderland. And one more thing. I think I need something down here with this little guy. We could do Holly Jolly. That might be good. We've got 'Tis the Season, Merry and Bright. Do-do-do-do. I think we're going to go with Holly Jolly. But again, I'm going to untagify it. I'm going to knock that little circle tag off. And maybe dovetail the ends. So let's trim that a little bit smaller. I always find when you're doing your embellishing, you kind of have to make decisions as you go, right? You don't always know where it's going to go. So let's dovetail the ends kind of to keep up with all the dovetails that have been going on. Both ends. Anybody else dovetail stickers? I fussy cut stickers sometimes. I dovetail them. All sorts of things. So let's put a little holly jolly under our wreath. Like that. And then we need some bling. We can't have a whole layout with no bling on there. Hey, Robin. No worries about being late. It's totally allowed. We won't send you to the principal or anything. Let me grab my embellishments. I think we're going to use some silver glitter gems for a little bit of sparkle on this one. Although gold would look nice with like the wood grain and things. I think we're going to go with the sparkly silver glitter gems. And, oh, I just had a thought. Had a thought. Lots of thoughts. I'm having a thought. I'm thinking about doing something up here. I don't know what I want to do up here. It seems like something is needed up there. I could add just a couple more of these. Bum, bum, bum. Could add a circle. I think the tree is way too big. It's a very big circle. The candy canes might be cool. Okay, I'll have to think about it. Let's add some embellishments. I've got my piercing tool here to help us out with this. So let's grab some bling. We'll put a big one there and a little one there. And then maybe another little one just on our heart, like so. And then let's do one down here on the edge of the wreath. And then a couple up here. We're making little triangles. We like our visual triangles when we're doing our embellishing, right? So we've got a little trio of things there. And let's add a little bling. Where do I want the little bling? A little bling there. I think I'm going to just stick with one over there. And then maybe we'll add some up here by our title. Do half on, half off. And let's use another big one. Like so. And a little one. Like so. Okay. So, decision. Do I want to add anything to my little banners? Or do I want to leave them the way they are? Sometimes it's one of those things where you have to like step back from it and take a look. Sometimes it even helps to take a photo of your layout. I know that sounds weird, but sometimes taking a photo of your layout allows you to see it a little bit differently. I'm just trying to move that light out of the way because it's creating a funny glare. And so I've got nice spaces where I can add a little bit of journaling. I can add some little journal strips on here if I want to. I could tuck in some journaling underneath this one in the center here. And I could even use one of these little edges to be the little pull tab that pulls it out. So, deciding. You know what? I think I'm going to leave them the way they are. I'm going to leave them like that. I kind of like that. There's a lot of busy things happening on this page. So it's nice to have, you know, the restful moments for our eyes. Oh, Heather's like, I always take a long time to do the bling. And you're just like, boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Sometimes you have to just, you know, go for it, right? And there have been times when I have put things on during a video and then afterwards I'm like, I'm going to switch that around. Sometimes that happens. Oh, Michelle, you are right. I did put it's Wednesday instead of scrap. It's almost Monday. You know, today is a little off. I don't know what's going on. Putting pieces of paper on wrong and putting the wrong date on things. I think it's still like brain fog from when I was sick. It kind of knocked me for a loop. Anyway, there we go. That's our completed layout. Let me just flip this over and remove the adhesive so we can take a look at my little rub and remove eraser here. Yeah, don't even know what day it is. It's so weird. I don't know. Weekend was throwing me off. Joshua was away today, and I went to the grocery store today, which I don't usually do on weekends. So it's just, you know, one One of those times. There we go. We have our completed layout using the Home for Christmas pattern papers, that gorgeous poinsettia on top of our white daisy cardstock. We've added our wood grain and our lovely dovetailed banners, some stickers, some bling on there. I love that we've got 6 photos and it's a double page layout, carrying that pattern paper all the way across, but allowing it to have the little dovetail edge that just lines up with all those other beautiful dovetailed pieces. Again, carrying the wood grain across. And you know what? There's really not a huge amount of pattern paper on this layout. So this is actually one, even though it's one of our first ones we made with this collection, this is one that could be made when there's just a few strips and bits left at the end of a pattern paper, because the photos actually take up a lot of the space on the layout. And you'll notice I didn't even map the photos, so we didn't use any extra cardstock other than our white daisy. So if you're somebody who says, I don't really need all the things for my Christmas layouts, I only need a little bit, and you know, I like this paper and stickers, you don't have to get all the things, right? Just paper and stickers and you can create some beautiful stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this double page layout come together. Again, I will post the reference for where I got the template for this layout when I post the photos. All right. Hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, because tomorrow is Monday and we will see you again soon. All right. Toodaloo. Don't forget, crop is coming up this week. Woohoo. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.